How did you make this record? The album was made primarily at my apartment using a cheap Radio Shack microphone, my laptop, MS Sound Recorder, and some other sound manipulating software. I also went to my friend, B. Mayor's house to record vocals. Real lo-fi stuff, but I am quite proud of how it all came out. I did all the mixing and I wrote all my lyrics. I wanted my homies on a song with me, so I got B. Mayor and Killer K on the rewind. B. Mayor would tell you himself that he's not a rapper, but I think he did an excellent job with his part and took the song to another level. I also had Killer K on the song, Adamant Ambitions, because I think she has a phenomenal singing voice. I also made a few videos for some of the songs. What's the significance of the title? The title, The Blue Light of Hope, actually has multiple meanings. Recently DC Comics has came up with The Blackest Night, tie-in to the Green Lantern series. Writer Jeff Johns and his team introduced the other Lantern groups, which are powered by different emotions. The Red Lanterns are powered by rage, the Green by willpower, and so forth down to the love-infused Violet Lanterns. The Blue Lanterns are powered by hope. I took that concept and ran with it. The blue light of hope symbolizes the hope that dreams come true, the hope that tomorrow is better than today. It symbolizes never giving up on dreams and ambitions to do something less important. And we all need hope. My favorite color is blue. I feel I relate to it more than other colors. Blue is cool and mellow, but can be just as powerful as red or any other color. In this respect, the title symbolizes me. Looking at the production credits, it seems like the record is mostly using other people's beats, mostly by well-known producers. Was that an aesthetic choice, or is there a lack of local producers in your community? Have you collaborated / are you planning on collaborating with anyone who would tailor their production specifically to your style? I like stumbling on beats while surfing the web. Sometimes I hear one that just makes me write rhymes automatically, and that happened with most of these beats. I liked the way they sounded. They each had a level of professionalism behind them that I really appreciated. This is of course a given with the Buck Wild beat, Far Verse, the DJ Premier beat, the Rewind, and the Fresh Prince beat, Stress Repellent, since these were made by famous producers, but the others were made by great indie producers like the Puzzle App Productions and Shadowville Productions, who sell beats online and let people download their stuff for free. I call this an album, but it's actually a mixtape where I just take people beats and rap on them. I don't have the rights to the beats, but I'm also not selling this album. I make absolutely sure that people know who made the beats so they get the credit they deserve. I don't know any local producers personally. I just want to be heard. I just want to rap, and I don't want to get charged an arm and a leg for mediocre beats to do it. I want exactly what I like to hear, and if that means I can make money off it, that's cool. I am open to collaborations, but the beats gotta be amazing, and we have to split whatever costs and revenues we may see from the project 50/50ths. What's your local scene like? Obviously there are lots of famous rappers from your neck of the woods, but Louisiana might as well be Mars to us here in Winnipeg. When we talked about his Panning Propagation Records, Johnny was basically saying he wouldn't be able to do anything that experimental without being booed off stage. Is it safe to assume local rappers don't have it as hard? There are lots of indie rappers out here in Lafayette, Louisiana having fun, making projects. My homie Rabbit is in my opinion one of the more prominent ones. Rab's always rapping and doing shows. There's also a rapper named Swelly who's a rapper and promotes a bunch of hip-hop shows and events down here. People seem to love hip-hop here. As long as it looks like you are coming from the heart and having a good time, they love it. Thankfully, I haven't heard of a situation where a rapper got booed off stage. I don't know, I guess rapping seems like an exotic talent, so people are often amazed if you say, I can rap, and actually do it. I remember one time the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, had a football game and people were tailgating. One fraternity, Kappa Sigma I think, had a Zydeco band under their tent. Before the band started playing, the drummer was just jamming and some of the guys were having a good time singing some songs, so I got on stage and just started rapping. People were loving it, and it felt good that people were digging it so much. That's a memory I'll take with me forever. Speaking of Winnipeg, most of the music featured on our site, as well as most of our readers, are from Winnipeg or elsewhere in Canada. Do you know anything about Winnipeg? What comes to mind when you think of Canada? What is it about your music that you think would appeal to Canadian listeners? Shout out to Canada. I'm sorry to say that I don't know much about Winnipeg or Canada as a whole, but I'd love to visit one day. When I think of Canada, I think about Drake, of course, KOS, and Cardinal Official as far as music goes. I also think about hockey, Maple Leafs, and Degrassi when I think about Canada, but I know full well that Canada is far more than that. I think that my music can appeal to anybody who likes hip-hop. I think Canadians will appreciate my honesty. I'm not trying to be something I'm not. It's just rhymes from the heart. I draw inspiration from everyday situations I go through, and I think the same can be said for Drake and other famous rappers from Canada. Honesty and the artistic way it's conveyed is the appeal. I noticed a lot of comic book references in the lyrics. Why? I love reading comic books. I think they are an integral part of what makes me who I am. Comic books in my lyrics helps me to convey what I'm trying to say in a clever way. There is a large population of hip-hop fans who love comic books, and they will dig my music. That's not to say that my music is meant to exclude anyone. Comic book fans will just dig it on another level. Art is art no matter what form it takes. What's the eventual goal with your own music or your group? In the short term, I'm working on some music with Johnny J called Paper Cuts, which will primarily showcase beats produced by a guy I met through YouTube named Rashad Music. I also have the dynamic, me and T Scott, project called Dark Nights, that's been finished for a few years now. I just have to remix some songs before I put it out. I'm just going to keep rapping and picking up fans along the way. In the long term, I just want to be heard and have fun. I want to be a part of history. I look at comic books, movies, TV shows, and music, and I think about the people who made them. They make the world a more colorful and creative place, and I want to be one of those people. I want to entertain people, make people happy, and carve out a little piece of history with my name on it at the same time.